Are you planning on meeting with an estate planning attorney in 2025? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss 5 documents that, depending on your state and your circumstances, are likely important to discuss with your estate planning attorney, and another that may be the most important document that you're going to include, but also depends very much on what state that you live in. What are the 5 estate planning documents that you are likely going to need? One thing that you can do is have a last will and testament. The other thing that you can do is you can have a durable power of attorney. The other thing that you can do is you can have a health care directive. Now, these are usually going to round out your estate plan, the bare bones basics of what you need. But you can also include documents, depending on your state, like transfer on death deeds. You can also do, depending on your state, community property agreements. And if you are really wanting to do some complex estate planning, you can do trusts. Trust can be a really great way to do your planning and also avoid probate. Now, some states you can get away with doing these types of estate plans. Other states, very commonly known one, is California, where almost everybody in California has a trust because they have a lot of downsides for people who don't have trust. Other states who have less complex probate systems, maybe less expensive probate systems, can do last will and testaments alone because the probate system is just not that onerous on individuals. Durable power of attorney, somebody's going to step into your shoes for you and do things on your behalf that you need to get done, like for financial and medical purposes. Healthcare directive is like an end-of-life document. If you're in a vegetative state, if you're permanently unconscious, multiple doctors put that in your record, for example, then you can have something like a healthcare directive. Sometimes this is called a living will. I don't like the term living will. Other states call it a living will. My state just refers to it as a healthcare directive because it really isn't anything like a will. It really has to do with you making a directive about your healthcare. The transfer on death deed essentially puts a beneficiary designation on your land, like it's going to be in trust. It's going to go directly to the beneficiaries. They're going to just do an affidavit that it's the transfer on death has happened, or just simply record a certificate of death with the recorder, and then the deed is going to transfer to whoever the beneficiaries are. And the community property agreement, it re-designates it as community property. And so all the property is going to go to the spouse when you pass away, and they're not going to need probate because everything has been transferred and everything's community property. If separate property, you likely need to go through probate because there's a different designation for that, and your will is going to decide what that separate property is going to be distributed and how it's going to be distributed. And then a trust, like I said, the benefits are you're going to make these designations beforehand, what happens when you pass away, and then the court isn't going to oversee it. The administrator is just going to oversee and make sure that those things happen. If we're going to rank these in most people need to least people need, I'd probably say the power of attorney. Every single person on the planet probably needs a power of attorney. Then you're probably going to need a last will and testament, and then you're going to need a healthcare directive. And then, these ones here, if you can do them, the trust is probably the last. But this could change based on your state. It very well likely will change, where these are going to be switched, and some of these are going to be more important spots depending on where you live. California, like I said, is going to have a completely different order than Washington State. You're a little bit closer to understanding exactly what documents you need and what questions to ask, hopefully, when you go talk to your attorney. If you want to watch more Lawyer Cliff on Main Street, then go ahead and click the video right over my shoulder and get the video that YouTube has recommended specifically for you.